Yeah, it's
Just
super
phase
cool.
through a whole person.
Yeah.
Fatality.
Hey there, welcome to round 12 of Wake Up 3. We are your hosts, Molly.
And Cam, and we are a fighting game podcast from a couple that loves fighting games.
Cam is back with a mix-up for me this week, right, Cam?
That's right. And this week, I decided to keep it related to our main subject here of the Mortal Kombat 1 Beta. Now, I'm coming back with the 2 moves and a lie that I've done a couple of times in the past.
Okay.
And I've got one question for each of the 3 new characters that we got to play in this beta. So one for Johnny, one Li Mei, one Frost. Let's start with Johnny here. 2 of these are real, 1 is fake. Between Footless, Crush Hour, and John Kick.
Did you say footless?
Footless, yep.
That one's fake.
Nope, that one is real.
What? I thought it was footloose.
Footloose is the movie, Footless is the...
Oh.
Yeah, because
Whoops.
like most of his things are...
Oh, is it Crush Hour?
Yeah, Crush Hour. is the
That's
one I
a
made
good
up.
one.
Yeah, and I even wrote it down with a K because I figured that's how they would do it. So, yeah, I got you there. Bah. Yeah, so going through Johnny's moveset, I noticed that most of his things were named after movies and just slightly changed. I figured, why not Crush Hour? That sounds pretty good.
What an excellent sneak. You got me right off the bat.
Next up, Li Mei. Palm Push, Pancration Champion, and Giant Kick.
I guess I'm just going to guess Pancration Champion.
That is wrong. It is Giant Kick.
Oh, okay.
The
I'm
idea.
in the blender.
Yeah, so it's
Oh for 2.
Let's see. Let's see if you can get at least one. I've got one more question for you here, and this one's about Frost and her moves.
Okay. Well, that should be easier since she's a cameo.
Frosty's Revenge, Ice Skate, or Ice Carpet.
Ice skate.
That's right. You got it.
Yay.
You got it. So I thought between that and Ice Carpet, that might be a little bit difficult. Well, Ice Carpet with a K. I just kind of thought, like, huh, that's odd. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, as usual, I have been decimated by the mix-up, surprising no one.
Let's see if you can get me next week.
Well, I got you last week.
You did. That was
good.
That was a tough one. You got me last week.
My one win that we can speak of. Well, normally at this point we'd get into some of our week in fighting games, but we actually have some brand new hot off the press news to share. Well, not really share because we've all seen it by now, I'm sure. But we're just going to break down a couple of trailers that were shared at Gamescom 2023 Tuesday night.
Yeah, opening night, we got a couple of new trailers. We got one for Mortal Kombat 1 that they put at the very end.
Yeah.
And just kept you watching, waiting for it. And then we finally got a release date and 6 new characters.
Yeah, so the Tekken 8 characters announced were Dragunov, Shaheen, Leo, Yoshimitsu, Steve Fox, and Kuma. the big surprise.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. And I almost feel like they saved the best for last because that one got me when they showed off his little rage art animation.
With the salmon rocket.
Yeah, the salmon rocket. I love that.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then you mentioned that he was wearing a lot of Heihachi's old outfit. I didn't realize that the belt or that the headband he was wearing was part of Heihachi's outfit.
Yeah. And then in that trailer, Raven says his line.
Yeah, Heihachi Mishima is dead. He also says that in Tekken 5, I want to say.
Yeah. So Kuma with the tribute outfit.
Yeah.
We also got to see the new mode for Tekken 8. And that is called Arcade Quest. So this is kind of similar to, would you say, Street Fighter Battle Hub?
It does look a lot like the Street Fighter Battle Hub, yeah. It's got like the avatar creation, only this time it looks a lot more Me-like, I want to say.
Yeah,
It
like
almost
the
looks like
Wii,
like a Wii character kind of
Nintendo.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that, which is fine. The simplicity is, it's fun. That's not really what you're there for. So
Right.
it's cool.
I'm looking forward to that, actually. I'm not usually one for modes like this and my fighting games, but I don't know. I feel like this is simple enough to where it feels like something I might actually have fun with, if that makes any sense.
I think I get it.
Because otherwise, I'm just in it for the fights,
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think I get it.
But yeah, it looks cool. I'm interested in checking that out. And was there anything else? Oh, they also showed off a lot of the customizations that you'll be able to do on your characters. So you'll, of course, get all of these silly little headpieces and golden suits and all sorts of fun items for your fighters to wear.
Yeah, they show off Lily and Asuka in like swapped outfits, so they're wearing each other's clothes. And I've been seeing a lot of people thinking that was pretty funny online.
Yeah,
I think that was a hit.
for sure. And then, of course, Kazuya with his shoe collection.
That was a pretty great callback to his Tekken 1 likes and dislikes section from the manual.
Love it. Well, that covers the Tekken 8 trailer, I believe.
I think so, but before we move on, I did want to ask you, do you have any characters from the Tekken 8 just revealed characters?
Oh, yeah, we didn't really talk too much
Yeah,
about them, other
didn't
than
talk
Kuma's awesome salmon rocket.
Yeah, that was
an outfit.
hilarious
But-
and unexpected. But yeah, did you have any characters that were just revealed out of the 6 that you that stuck out to you, I guess?
I did. I think I was most excited for Leo. I played quite a bit of Leo in 7. I like the Leo play.
Okay.
But also, Yoshimitsu is number 1. Like, love Yoshimitsu.
Yeah, definitely. He looks really cool in this. I love the outfit. It kind of actually reminds me of Tekken 3, but I'm mostly basing that on like the head shape.
Okay.
The rest of it looks kind of more cyberized almost, which I'm down for. Cyberize everybody.
Who are you interested in from those?
I'm definitely looking forward to trying out Yoshimitsu. I always like giving him a shot in every game that he's in. And then Kuma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were really excited to see Kuma.
I think I got most excited when I saw him. I think he's goofy and he's fun, and I love the new outfit. And this time around, I'm actually really curious as to whether or not he'll inherit more of Heihachi's moves.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
a good question.
He's had a couple of Mishima moves in his kit in the past, but yeah, I wonder if he'll have even more.
Mm-hmm. With that tribute outfit, who knows?
Right,
Maybe.
right, because Heihachi is dead, as we know.
Confirmed.
But where's his moveset gonna go? I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I guess we can move on to MK1.
All right, so they saved the best for last, as we mentioned. MK1, the Rulers of Outworld trailer was introduced by, that's right, Ed Boon himself.
That's a joy to see, too. Just Ed Boon walking out on stage smiling while everybody just like screams for him with...
Yeah, that seemed like a huge event, too.
Yeah,
over
that was
in Germany.
That was huge. That was like I think they said it was 20-something thousand people,
Wow.
22,000 people or something like that. It's wild.
Ed Boon came all the way to Germany to introduce the Rulers of Outworld trailer. So this trailer was once again hinted at. We kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah, beforehand we knew we were gonna get 2 new characters and 2 new cameos.
So those ended up being Sindel and General Shao for the base roster.
That's right.
And the cameos were...
Shujinko and Motaro.
Let's talk about that.
Let's start with Shao. He had kind of a change with especially
did.
with his weapon.
Yeah, his weapon and his look. Outwardly, in his full attire, masked up, he looks, you can tell that's Shao.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Then,
close to what you would expect.
then the mask comes off, and we see this is a different Shao. He's no longer half dragon.
Yeah, he's got like the horns and face of Motaro. So is he half centaur in this one?
Now, since the trailer, his bio has been released, and that mentions him being a child with an infirm body. So he was like weak, but he was born into a military family. But I don't know if they did something to him or
They said that
if...
they had him on like a near impossible training regimen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that went beyond and involved in experiments or anything like that. I wonder if he was originally born without horns.
Right.
I don't know.
Was he like a human? And yeah, I have questions for sure.
Maybe he was exposed to Motaro DNA.
I don't know how that works, but
gameplay wise, he's got an axe now.
Yes.
And he doesn't just swing it around, although he does definitely do that. He seems to have a lot of magical style moves where he'll levitate you and slam you into the axe.
Right.
Things like that. And it reminded me of Ares from Injustice 1.
Yeah.
Badass.
Badass. But overall, I think Xiao's overhaul it's interesting, and I'm giving it a chance. I don't love the look, but I think the mask looks really cool.
Yeah, the mask is
shot
helpful.
with the glowing red eyes, yes, it's helpful. The shot with the growing. Oh
the
my.
growing red
oh
eyes.
my, that would be different. No.
Nightmare.
No.
They really went a weird way with Shao Kahn. Or with General Shao, excuse me.
Oof. Yeah, we got to get used to the general stuff. He's respected by Sindel, we see in this trailer. And let's talk about Sindel. What did you think of her new look and her new place in Outworld?
Well, it seems like she is in charge of Outworld solo at the time, because they mentioned during some of the dialogue that Gerard is dead.
Right.
I wonder if that was a recent thing, or I guess recent might be relative to Edenians as well, who live to be thousands of years old.
That's true.
So maybe it's recent to them, but it happened, I don't know, 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That'd still be kind of fresh to someone that was 2,000 years old.
That's true.
So, weird. Anyways, yeah, she seems to be leading
She's
solo.
in charge.
Yeah, she's in charge. She's got kind of a new look. She looks a lot less white in this one, which I feel like that makes sense because her area that she's from and her daughters they've had more of an Asian look for several games now.
Right.
And it's kind of weird that, they didn't really look anything like their mother
In 11?
recently. Yeah, especially in 11, they didn't look anything like their mother. But whatever, that's not to knock MK11 Sindel or anything like that. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
And it's cool. But yeah, I think I like the new look. She looks pretty serious. I think the thing I like the most about the new look is the pants and just general. It's almost like a bodysuit, and then there are little markings that kind of stylize it to make it look like it was a bikini thing, because it's not like a swimsuit look anymore.
Right.
But it has like stylized markings that make it look like it could be. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's like a fake cutout
Yeah.
where it's just sections of her outfit that are closer to skin and skin tone.
Yeah. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was a cool design choice.
Yeah, I like that too.
Maybe.
And her gameplay is... People are saying it's similar to maybe some MK9 Sindel that we've seen. That's the only thing I've seen mentioned about it so far.
I could see that a little bit. I think that's with like the hair projectile and then the emphasis on a lot of flips.
Okay.
She didn't have quite as many flips in MK11. I feel like in that game she had more of twirls. You know what I mean? Like she just like twirled around in circles and would hit you that way. Mm-hmm. Because she had that huge weapon.
That's true,
And that changes her gameplay a lot as well with that Naginata.
Yeah, so she's weaponless once again. It's just punch kicks, hair.
Yeah.
And hair projectile.
Right.
So the hair projectile is back.
I think that's pretty cool.
I think she looks like she could be a lot of fun. I think people are very excited for her return. And there's a new feature to Sindel with her hair. When she activates her fatal blow, she freaks out because the hair stands on end. It blows up.
Yeah, she goes beast mode and it's like gigantic.
Yep.
It's like level 4 Jamie.
It's like a cat's tail when a cat gets spooked.
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
Level 4 Jamie, hush your mouth.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I feel like I've seen most people thinking it's cool. Like I've seen a lot of people on Twitter kind of praising it.
Yeah, I think people are excited about this new Sindel feature.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's fun. It's kind of goofy. And I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but I've said this to you before. I want this to just be like a game of freaks and monsters.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Having the big hair, the big banshee hair, fits right in. I like that.
Well, one other thing I do want to talk about with Sindel, just some speculative things because this hasn't been confirmed or anything, but I can't help but notice Sindel and Lee May look kind of similar, and they are both a little bit older, and they look like they could be related. Now, Liu Kang, as you know, is in charge of this new era. Did he make Lee May and Sindel sisters?
Maybe. I've seen that online. Like, these two look like they could be sisters.
Yeah. I couldn't help but notice that during my initial viewing of that trailer, I kept seeing Sindel and thinking, this face doesn't remind me of Katana and Melina. It reminds me of Lee May.
Right.
I couldn't shake that thought. Like, that was my initial reaction. And then, yeah, to see other people say that too, I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone.
Right.
And what if they are sisters? Because that would make Lee May being the one on watch when Gerard gets killed crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know all about,
there.
yeah, I want to know all about that if that's the case. But
Yeah.
just speculation. We don't know if they're actually sisters or if they just happen to look a little bit similar.
It would also kind of throw a fun little like twist into how Lee May and Melina are kind of closer together and then
Yeah.
also closer in playstyle. And then Katana is a lot closer to her mother, Sindel.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like she's a lot more like floaty. She's got the feathery style.
That's right.
What do you call it? Like the feathery
effects.
Yeah, she's got like the feathery effects.
On her fan.
Yeah, so it seems like she's more like royal, flowy, that sort of thing. They kind of match each other. It would be kind of cool if it was another sister thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so. I'm all
in on
for
that.
it.
Yeah,
I want Aunt Lee May to be a thing.
yeah, that'd be great.
Also, like, what a funny thing to like suddenly have Aunt Lee May because Aunt May.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
I just think that would be so funny.
That is funny.
If Mortal Kombat had Aunt Lee May.
Yeah.
I digress though. But Cinderella's back. Yay. I think her role in the story is going to be fun to watch. Her and Xiao.
I think so.
Xiao is going to destroy Raiden, it looks like.
I would think so based on those intros.
And then let's talk about those two cameos, right? So we've got Motaro and Shujinko.
Yeah, that's right. They both have a little bit of a unique thing going on. Motaro used to be a boss character in MK3, and he hasn't really been around too much since. He was playable as a two-legged version of himself in Armageddon, and people hated that because it's not right.
Yeah.
So I figure, they kind of say, like, if you're going to do it like that, don't do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hard character to put into a game and actually playable. So I think they're doing a cool thing with the cameos here. He's got a move where he can teleport your character. He's got a reflect for projectiles, and it seems like it lasts for a while because when they show it, Raiden shoots like 6 different little blasts all at once, and it reflects them all, which is cool. The other one that he has is a tail projectile where it fires off 3 balls of energy.
Yeah, they're kind of just little like spiky like shots.
Right, and they look pretty similar to what they used to look like for him.
Yeah, I don't have an attachment to Motaro, but I actually think his cameo, it looks like it's going to be pretty stacked. Like, that looks like a good cameo to have.
It does. I feel like those are all really good things to have.
Yeah, a built-in teleport.
Yeah,
I think
great.
that's going to be popular.
I think
for
so.
Sure.
Projectile reflect.
Yeah.
Projectiles on your own. Like, some characters don't have a built-in projectile. So that sounds pretty good for Johnny. Just saying.
That's true. Is there anything else special about him?
They showed off his fatal and his throw as well.
Yeah.
His throw is kind of fun. It was just like his MK3 throw where he just grabs you and then punches you full screen.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Quick, simple, but yeah, it was a nice throwback. And then his fatal, he just rushes in, headbutts you, and then kicks you with his back feet away.
Yeah. Does
Simple.
the old boot.
Yeah. Kind of a horse kick sort of thing. It's silly. But yeah, that's what you get from him. And then let's get into Shujinko.
He's suffered some confusion in recent times. And that was no exception for this time. Because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, is this Shang Tsung?"
Yeah.
We've got a mimic going on. So
Yeah, he does
an old
look...
man.
He
He's
does
mimicking moves.
Yeah, in the older appearances, he had more of a shaggy beard, and it went,
Oh.
like, from his sideburns all the way down. So, different beard style. In Mortal Kombat X, in Cassie Cage's ending, she actually mistakes Shujinko for Shang Tsung and kills him. So she kills Shujinko. She makes the mistake of thinking it was him. So I feel like even NRS is in on the joke.
They have it built in to the game, so
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So does he have anything special besides the fact that he can mimic?
They haven't shown
opponent?
any of his like unique cameo stuff. They've only shown, I mean, they showed his throw off, so you got to see his throw, and it's just a couple of punches, pushes him back, and then his fatal. I think it's interesting because we know that right now he's going to have the mimic ability, so he'll be able to copy certain special moves from your opponent. And I think that's really cool because you'll be able to use main roster moves with your main roster character. It just opens up some more things that are going to be unique. I think it's cool. He's not a character I ever cared about back in the day, but...
But now you do, don't you?
He looks kind of fun. Yeah, it's endearing.
That's all that's part of the Rulers of Outworld trailer. And then, yeah, we got more information as the night went on from other sources.
Yeah, some sort of content creator early access has been going on in Chicago since yesterday.
So we didn't really expect to cover any of this. This is kind of spur of the moment because it literally is happening as we speak.
Yeah, it's like just happening.
But we've got officially the invasion mode.
Yeah.
Is it called invasion?
Yeah, it's invasion mode or invasions, something like that.
Invasions.
I think it's just invasions, yeah. I've heard that it's a combination of like conquest mode from past games and the crypt because of the way you unlock things, and mini games. There's test your might. There's endurance, which is something from I think Trilogy, where they would make you go up against like 3 or 4 characters all in a row with the same health bar.
Seems kind of fun. I'm down to try something different. I feel like the crypt has been maybe getting a little old, but
yeah, I'm getting tired of the jump scares at this point.
I'm kind of just getting tired of MK11's crypt, don't get me wrong. It was really cool and beautiful that they did so much in-depth work with that as far as an environment compared to MKX.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool details in it, but
it just over time it becomes too much to traverse through it over and over again. Not that you have to do it for super long, but I don't know. I'm ready for something new, so I think this will be a good change.
I think
and
so.
It looks kind of fun, so that has been shown off. They've also shown off, I think, 17 minutes of the story, which we are not going to cover because I'm doing my darndest to just avoid that.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. I want to know everything else about the game, but I don't want to be spoiled on the story at all.
Right. I don't want to... I'm not planning on watching story content until the game actually comes out.
Yeah, I hope I can avoid it, so...
Yeah. Unless it's coming from, like, the actual MK page in form
then it
of,
must
like,
be
a
for a
3-minute trailer
reason,
or whatever. I'm not gonna bother.
They've also shown new skins. They've also shown new gameplay. So we've seen some of Kung Lao and some of Melina now at this point. We've seen more of Cyrax as a cameo. Those are the only new ones that were playable. Yeah. So that's what we've seen of that so far. I'm sure there will be more things coming out here and there. But that's all we will share for this episode. Let's get right into all of that juicy beta talk.
Let's do it.
So it began Friday. I think the first thing I did was I actually just went into towers this time to just look at the move menus and kind of just go through the tower and try things out. On very easy, of course, because I don't want those computers to do anything to me. Let's dig into just the general takeaways and any highlights that we caught over the weekend. So, perhaps you've seen this, perhaps you had it happen, but Lights Out, the cameo throws cause an interesting glitch where the lights, the electrical lights that illuminate the stage, front-facing lights, are off. So it is very dark.
It's kind of funny because it's almost like silhouettes, and then they still have lighting in like the far backdrop of the screen for some reason. So it's kind of goofy. It's like backwards.
And of course, a huge highlight is the improved movement.
That is right. I played a little bit of Sub-Zero this weekend between matches when I was not Johnny or Jury. And and
how'd she get in here?
Right, yeah. She snuck in. I felt like I couldn't go all weekend long without playing a little bit of Jury.
Yeah.
So she snuck in.
Got the sickness.
Yeah. I played a little Sub-Zero, and I played a lot of Sub-Zero during the stress test. And from that, I was able to take away that, yeah, they're right. The movement is a lot better. I was able to feel it with that one character that I've played in both versions of the game. And it feels good. It feels smooth right away.
Movement, if you didn't play the stress test, it felt super heavy and clunky on that version. And man, they definitely just knocked it out of the park with the buff to the movement, because it is like night and day.
A general takeaway is that I probably only saw one katana all weekend. Maybe two.
Yeah.
I feel like I barely saw katana at all.
She's the only character that I haven't fought. And it's kind of crazy. Like, katana fans, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of buff katana calls already. And just relax, guys. It's not even out yet. I'm sure she'll change by the time the game comes out. Or maybe she's got a different game plan in Mortal Kombat 1. Maybe we just haven't figured out how she plays in this game yet.
And of course, we had new characters to choose from in this beta. Johnny Cage and Lee May joined the main roster as choices, and Frost was a cameo. So Johnny, the crowd goes wild because Johnny, he's never been cooler than this. And that is a huge statement, because I personally think Johnny has been good in every NRS version of himself.
I would agree, and that's funny because I actually wrote that in my notes for today. Oh. Yeah, I feel like Johnny has gotten better in literally every NRS title, from MK9 in 2011 all the way till now. That's 4 titles straight, and I feel like every single one, he's just like cooler and cooler in each one.
Yeah, I find myself thinking like, okay, I can't like Johnny more than this, and then boom. Okay, I can't like Johnny more than this, and then boom, now MK1's here, and I'm like, they did it again.
Yeah. And
big props, because man, we really thought when they took away his projectile that it was over for Johnny. Yeah. Like, where's the god killing? But
yeah, right, exactly. I want to see him kill gods. Let me kill Liu Kang.
Boy, you're gonna start an absolute riot with that one.
Right?
There's nothing not fun about Johnny.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming in with the double negative there, because he's just that cool in this game.
Yeah, he was very cool. And when I first started playing him, I kind of struggled, honestly.
Yeah, you did.
Day one, I didn't have too much time.
Sorry to
Jesus
like
Christ.
instantly
Just burn the shit out of me right there. Fatality me on air. Yeah, I only played like 5 or 6 matches. They were all as Johnny, and I lost every single one of them. I left that kind of feeling discouraged, honestly. But I think the problem was that I had an old Johnny Cage game plan, and he is a very new character in this game in terms of how he plays.
I similarly went into this beta thinking that I would just play Johnny. I did initially, and then I ended up trying Lee May just because, you know, she's here too, and you gotta check everybody out. So we'll get into her later, but I did end up playing a lot of Lee May. However, Johnny, I think my favorite thing about Johnny was his fatal blow. I think they did an amazing job with this. I love the takeover with the camera, and then you have the POV, and then getting to see the little like viewfinder view and seeing the flashing error macro. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, once he breaks the camera, it's got the error macro there.
Yeah.
Nice little Ermac shout out.
Little touch, yeah.
And I love the startup on that thing. I feel like I got a lot of people with that thing.
Yeah, I only saw you just tricking people with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we mean with that. So he had a cancelable Fatal Blow and MK11. So once again, he has that, but there's more to it this time.
First off, if he doesn't hold it at all, he just does a normal hit. So you can string into it if you want to. But if you choose to hold it, he'll do a little dance. And I feel like you can hold it for like 4 or 5 seconds. It's pretty long. Mm-hmm. And during that time, it's just a parry. And it hits air moves and all that. So I feel like I got a ton of people with that this weekend.
Like everyone that you did it to, really.
Yeah, because I would just hold the little Johnny dance down. I would be dancing for like 5 seconds straight. And they would, a lot of the time, they would just like stand in front of me and not know what to do for a second, try to attack me, and then boom, parry. And I would just laugh my ass off every single time. And then it got to the point where they would know, okay, I can't attack because it's a parry. So they would just stand in front of me and wait for it to end. And then boom, if you wait for the whole thing, it's unblockable.
Yeah. So, bonus.
Yeah, so it's got a lot going on. Not only that, you can do his shadow dash out of it. So you can be holding down the little dance, shadow dash across the screen towards them, and then put on the pressure again.
Yeah, so perfect for Johnny. Such a reflection of character there. Speaking of a character with personality coming through, Johnny comes fully equipped with a fan club in MK1. We have an audience for Johnny.
Yeah, it's pretty great. The lady that cries out, "Finish me, Johnny."
Yeah. There's a lot of fun lines coming out of the crowd for Johnny, for sure. So that's something new and fresh that we've never had. It's a perfect fit for him. Let's talk about some of his new moves. So we kind of mentioned the shadow dash. I love to just phase through projectiles, don't you?
Yeah, it's
just
super
phase
cool.
through a whole person.
Yeah, just like duck through.
The shadow dash is the brilliant new addition to Johnny's moves. But of course, we still have his classics in there. That makes Johnny that soft spot to land, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Feels like home.
He's got his back 3 pop-up kick. It's back 3 again, like MKX, unlike how it was back 2 in MK11.
That's right. It's still a kick.
Yeah. And he's got his nut punch. I feel like it's better than ever. I think it low profiles so many things.
It does, yeah.
I use it as my wake up special like all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it nice? Is it working?
I like it. Yeah. I feel like it's pretty solid because like it low profiles not only projectiles but also like any high attack. So a lot of the roster has a lot of high attacks, you know. There's still plenty of mids, but any high attack it's going to low profile, and I just hit them in the nuts, stun them, open them up for something else. I don't know how they do it, but they just keep adding hype to this character.
Oh, hype. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, his hype meter is pretty fun, I would say. I've used it a couple times to turn the tides of battle entirely, where I think like, oh shit, I'm kind of falling behind here.
Yeah, and it definitely fits the name, the hype meter, because when you go into hype mode and get the spotlight going, it is hype. It gets hype in the living room or wherever you're playing.
It's super sweet.
So
it's a lot of fun. So I've thrown a little bit of scrubby tactics in there, but I feel like I've just been wanting to take advantage of that hype meter when I can.
Maybe not for the faint of heart with Johnny, not an entry-level character, I would say, but lots of fun, and the payout will be great if you play him and learn him.
Yeah, definitely. He was super fun this weekend, so I will definitely be checking him out in the future. Not sure that I'm going to main him because I'm looking forward to a lot of other characters on this roster.
Same.
But I did have a lot of fun with him, so I'm sure I will revisit Johnny in the future.
Well, let's cool down a bit, shall we, with Frost.
Let's do
Our
it.
one addition to the cameo roster. I did see a lot of Frost usage, so I think everybody was kind of on the same page of, hey, let's try out Frost. And I saw a lot of positive feedback about her. A lot of people are enjoying the tools that Frost brings to the table with her cameo assistance.
Oh, I felt like Frost didn't really pair with Johnny too well.
No, I don't. I agree.
But I've seen a lot of people this weekend talking about how she pairs very well with Lee May.
Mm-hmm. And I did use her quite a bit with Lee May. So I can see that for sure. We should talk about who Johnny went well with. I think it was the overall point of view that Kano is a great assist for Johnny because of the knife projectile and human Kano ball projectile.
And the laser.
That's right. So it's just all projectile.
Yeah, his laser, it's slower to come out, of course, but it's a mid, and I feel like it lasts for a while.
Does.
So if you try to jump it, you'll land on it.
For sure.
It's not really, you can't really jump it. I don't think you can time that right.
It would be a weird one.
It would be a weird
one.
one.
If you can.
You'd have to jump like over him.
Anybody got the tech?
Yeah.
Let us know.
We'll see.
But back to Frost as a cameo. Let's talk about what she has.
I only used her a couple of times before I kind of gave up on her and settled into using Kano with Johnny for like the rest of my time.
Yeah, that makes sense. She has a kind of a variety. She does have her walking forward ice dagger punches. Yeah, that's one of her options, and I feel like that's the one that I see people rely on the most. Next up would definitely be her ground freeze. So that's another popular one because you get the freeze out of it, get a chance to begin again.
And then she's got kind of an iceberg that she shoots out. And then her final move is the orb.
Yeah, the orb is here. Frost's final move is probably the least popular one, the least used. At least from what I saw, she has a super slow startup orb release that will float across the screen and maybe hit your character.
Yeah.
Not your character, but maybe hit your opponent and freeze them once again. So she has two freeze options there.
I didn't see that one a whole lot either. I feel like it's harder to use.
It is. It's very easy to whiff. So if you don't mean to do it, it's bad. Because it's very slow. All right, so that covers her moves that she has. So it's kind of like a mixed bag with a lot of freezing opportunities. A standout for me with Frost was her fatality. I actually do like it. I wasn't sure the first time I saw it until I was in the game myself seeing it. For some reason, I don't...
I feel like it looked better when you could actually see it in like full 4K glory.
Yeah, it must be that. But I love the goofiness of how the icy skeleton looks. Falling down like that. With
it is funny. It like flaps
flesh
down.
cuffs. So
yeah, it flaps down like, oh no.
The only other note I have for Frost is that her second color's nice. It's very bright and icy.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice.
Kind of matches her hair.
Vivid, icy.
Like it's that lighter blue. So like a winter fresh.
Yeah.
All right, well that leads us to Lee May, ultimately. So Lee May was a surprise for me. I went into this weekend thinking that I was going to do most of my matches as Johnny because he was the character I was most hyped for.
Right.
Constable Lee May stepped in and said, no, I don't think so. I played a lot of Lee May.
Yeah, you did. You played quite a bit of her, and I feel like you...
kind of flourished?
Yeah, you were doing really good with her, like, right off the bat. From pretty much match number 1, you were good with her.
Yeah,
I was
kind
impressed.
of just settled right in. I don't know if that was kind of the general experience with Lee May, but maybe she's just a playstyle that I found a groove with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lee May took me by surprise for sure. I really enjoyed playing as her. And she also has a really fun second costume color I will mention now since we just talked about Frost.
Yep.
It's a brighter purple with like a goldish orange accent. It's very bright and fun. So one of the biggest surprises for me with Lee May's gameplay was this little special move where she brings out a lantern. Now when I first saw this, I thought, that's kind of silly. Like, I probably won't use that. Wrong. It's my favorite move.
Yeah,
Random lantern gang, where we at?
Yeah.
Love to bring that out.
Bust that thing out any chance you can.
That's where I'm going to drop in using Frost as cameo with Lee May. Lantern, feet, orb. Fun pressure tool there with like scaring people with a lot of, I don't want to jump.
A lot of floaty things going on at once.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I used the lantern a lot. Big fan of the lantern. I know other people were in love with it too. Funny thing is that it can be an infinite right now. So
yeah,
everyone remember this moment where Lee May's lantern can do an infinite. Unless you have any other notes, I just pretty much wanted to say that I find her gameplay very solid.
What were the standout things for her? What were her specials or just general things that stood out for her gameplay other than the lantern?
Yeah, I kind of just focused on the lantern with
Okay.
that because that was definitely my most favorite thing.
That was like your hype meter.
Yeah, I also would use I'm not sure what the move's called, but basically like the hyper knee that gets you across screen.
Yeah.
So that was usually like my go-to ender, especially with the EX where she would knee up to you and then blast you with some extra fireworks, with the fists.
That was cool.
So, yeah, overall, I find her gameplay solid, but stubby in some instances, particularly just a few of her punch strings. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing that you can't work with, I think.
No,
maybe they could fix the range because I have seen other people say that, but
yeah, I mean,
some people, you have your gives and your takes.
True. She's very fast, so sometimes with being super quick, that comes with less range. Makes sense. I feel like she's all about the kicks.
There's always a balance with punches and kicks in certain characters. You either have a character that has punches and kicks 50-50, or some characters are all about punches, some characters are all about kicks. I think Li Mei is on the kick heavy side.
I think so.
I definitely relied on kicks more, but I also just love kicks in general, so if I can find me a delicious kick string, except for you, Liu Kang, I'm not talking to you. All right.
A lot of Liu Kang haters in this podcast.
We're kind of like shitting on Liu Kang in this episode, but I can't lie that I wake up every day thinking about how Liu Kang had every opportunity to make Kung Lao his best friend in the new era and elevate him to some kind of invincible god status and didn't.
Yeah.
How shitty is that? So, I mean, I think he deserves a little hate.
He could have done that. He could have brought Katana with him and started a world with her or whatever. He could have done a lot of things, but I feel like he was he's making a lot of the same mistakes as MK9 Raiden so far, and I could see him being kind of maybe a villain.
You could say history repeats itself.
True.
Maybe.
It's in our blood, they say, for the tagline.
It seems like it's in their tattoos.
Yeah, it's in their tattoos. It's all about their actual blood.
Oh, another thing about Li Mei is that her tattoo glows.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So she gets a purple glowy tattoo.
Yeah, that's not an Earthrealm tattoo. That's an Outworld tattoo, so it's got glow
You can't
powers.
get this shit around here.
I wonder if Baraka will have a glowy one, because he's got Outworld tattoos.
I know Garrus is kind of glowy, right?
Yeah, he's got like Time God golden tattoos.
All right, well, I think that concludes it for the beta, right?
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to add that with all this Johnny love going around, this is just me like hoping and praying, but I would love to see Johnny Cage guest star in another fighting game, perhaps Tekken 8.
Maybe. That would be cool. I would love to see it.
I know that there have been a few times this summer where we've seen Ed Boon and Harada together in photos at different conventions or tournaments, whatever.
Yeah, and they both always post it.
Yeah, they always both share
of them.
The pictures together, just like individual pictures.
It's a sign.
Man, and wouldn't that be perfect?
Give me the Johnny crossover.
They're making Johnny so cool and so flashy, and I feel like he would fit really well in Tekken. So I just wanted to say, even though it's not about the beta, they've made him so cool, and they're making him like a spotlight character again, it seems. So use some of that spotlight and make him the Tekken 8 guest. Make him the first guest for Tekken 8.
I mean, yeah, I am, of course, down for any Mortal Kombat crossover to Tekken, but yes, Johnny, for sure. And
they took away Johnny's projectile.
That's right.
Tekken is not a very projectile-heavy game. They have had a few in the past in Tekken 7. People don't really care for that. But maybe taking away the projectile in MK would...
Maybe they took it away because it's going to be in
Yeah,
Tekken.
maybe they wanted some synergy. Yeah, that is all for...
That's all for this week. We will talk to you next week about something. I think it'll be a character bio, so stay tuned for whoever that'll be. And leave any suggestions for people you wish to hear about.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. And if
maybe we'll do them, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll give you a big fat no. Decline.
Maybe, yeah. It
That
depends.
was the one downside of the beta for me, was the amount of declines.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
I wanted to fight more.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of wasted time where there were quick connections, but there were so many declines.
Yeah.
That...
And still no notification audio cue when you got a match.
Yep.
So,
before anybody says anything, we were wired. We were not on Wi-Fi, so...
It's not about that.
It's not about that. We were just getting a ton of declines, so...
Yeah, so it was a bit frustrating. I saw that from other people as well, so... What can you do, though?
Yeah.
It was overall a great experience. We always love to take part in extra Mortal Kombat content where we can.
Yeah.
And...
It was a ton of fun, and it's a one-time thing that you'll never be able to take place in again.
Exactly. So takeaways are Johnny is super fun, and love the lantern.
Yeah, Lantern Infinite.
Lantern life. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.
See ya.
That brings us to the end of this week's episode of Wake Up 3. Thanks so much for listening. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WakeUp3FGC. And you can find me, Molly, on Twitter at Concut. That's KAHNKUT. Or on PlayStation, that's Jam Michaels.
And you can find me, Cam, on Twitter or PlayStation at Big Rock Online. This is Wake Up 3, signing off.
Bye.
You could use my 2019 grunts.
Yeah, my 2019 grunts will do. Thank you.